Guys, welcome back again to this channel. um in this video we are actually going to be looking at order blocks with a very high probability. Yes, we'll be looking at order block order block with a very high probability. All right, pretty much this is what we're going to be looking at. And then it's very important for us to, as a trader, for you to understand a very high probability order block, because it is going to help your entire trading entry. Very important. So you will be able to know where and when to enter the trade because of a very high probability order block. Now, the reason why you need a very high probability order block is because most order block, it is not as if they don't exist, but the probability of your trade, as a result of your setup on any particular order block, plays out accurately. It would be very, very slim if you're making use, of making use of all order blocks without paying attention to the high probability order block. And that is why we advise you use a very high probability order block. Now, when you want to identify a very high probability order block, there's some things you need to look at. First off, that order block needs in itself needs it needs to you know it needs to have a change of character or change in state of delivery. We either have this or this. It should also have a BOS, which is a break of structure, which should be a break of structure. It should also have FVG, which is the fair value gap, and should also have, most of the cases, let's say, liquidity in itself. Let's say liquidity sweep. So um, these are some parameters you need to look at for another block to be, of a very high probability. Are we together now? Yes. So let's go ahead and see if we can identify an order block with a very high probability in the chart. So, but before we get to the chart, this is what we are. Let me give us a skeletal structure of what it is we are actually looking at for. Now, this is what we are looking at for. Let's assume this is price action. We're looking at for something like this comes to this point. Are we together now? And comes here, comes here, and start doing the magic it wants to do. Either this, like this, you know, like this, like this, like this, like this, whatsoever. So this is our point of interest. Let me indicate this is our point of interest. Are we together? We love this place. Now our point of interest. Now, because here is our point of interest, what we are looking at for in this place now would be our zone. Because like I always, tell traders, you treat other blocks in most of the cases as zones. If you're not used to, what zones are, I did a video on that. You could check this channel and you'll be able to see that, watch that video, and it is actually going to help you your entire trading experience on zones and other blocks. So we treat here as a zone. So when you're treating it as a zone, the first thing you do is to map out. So you need to map out. So you have something like this map out in this region. Now, Another thing you like, as you can see, you have this region, this cream like rectangular structure here. You have it here as well. If I should, keep reducing my chart, you see lots of, this rectangle. These are simply, they are just simply my zones. So when I marked them out because once price gets there, it tends to react. Once price, you can see price got to this one and reacted. So these are ways in which you could get a very high probability order block that would help you print lots and lots of funds. So if my price got or price action got into this zone and then it rejected off, and then I got into the trade and I was able to pack from this particular trend there. You see that now. So the same thing applies to some orders, as you can see right here. The same thing. See, these are my zones. Once price gets there, there are things it does and all of that together. So you must be able to understand zone. Make sure you watch that video. I will it's right in this channel. It's going to help you. Remember, if you're tuning in for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you would be notified whenever it is we drop a new video to help your entire trading experience. All right, now since we're through with the zone, remember we're trying to this point now become our order block. So and remember, like what we're looking at, it must also have a fair value gap here. And now the fair value gap it should have um, would be this fair value gap would be sitting very close to the the other block. Are we together? It's not that you're going to be having a fair value gap somewhere. Let me indicate it. It's not that you're going to be having a fair value gap somewhere here instead of here. And maybe you're just having some couple of, even if you have a fair value gap here, there are still ways in which you could check. Like you see from this little, illustration I did. From this little illustration, you could see that my price had to come through to this fair value gap and then pushed up. So it's not as if it's not going to be valid. It would still be valid. I'm still going to teach us how to trade fair value gap. Uh-huh. Um, later on. But for now, we're treating other blocks and then, high probability other blocks. So each your fair value actually is sitting closest to your other block. Are we together? And this now will become your change. It will become your change, your breakout structure, or could be because this now in turn would be your change in state of delivery. So this will now be our change of character. So that's what we're looking at. It's going to be our change of character. And then once it's our change of character, remember these are going to be our liquidity pool, our liquidity sweep. So from this zone, from here down to this point, is going to be our liquidity. So remember the essence of liquidity is so that there can be continuation in the market. Yes, because when there's no liquidity, the market is not going to be interesting. So for what makes the market interesting is that you have some persons countering, you have some sellers countering the buyers. Are we together? That's what makes market and makes the market interesting. So you have seller countering buyers, you have buyers countering sellers. At the point where you have all of these, different um parties, countering each other, that point is the point of liquidity. Because when they keep arguing and all of that, and later on, one of the party you know, decides their plan of action as a result of, pushing in fund at that point in time, then the trend of the market would now be on their favor. So if it's the bullish, if it's, the bearish or, the buyers that are in, in control of the market, so to say, then you have lots, you're going to be having that bullish trend pull. Are we together now? Then, then if it is the seller that, are in control, you're going to be having a bearish, you know, trend in the market. So this is pretty much how it works. So once you have this, and you have this, and it keeps moving, so you keep observing and all of that, then you apply all of these confidences, and you're able to spot out what you want from your order block. Another thing I'm also going to still say here that is also still going to help you is that, remember we talked about liquidity sweep, but in most of the cases your order block might not have it, but it's very important that it has it because we're looking at high probability. Are we together now? So let's go to the chart and see if you can find some couple of high probability order block. All right, so I just spotted one. As you can see, this is one. This is another order block here. You can see the change in character. This is actually breakout structure. As you can see right here, this is breakout structure. So we have to name it after what it is as breakout structure, or we could say this is or we could say that zone is our change. Let's call it, let's say change, change of character. I think that will better, define that particular, axis for us. Change, of character. The reason why it is called change of character is because price was actually bearish and all of a sudden became bullish. So it became bullish and broke beyond, this liquidity here. So there's a continuation. So at this point, we could name it a change of character. Are we together now? Yes. So it keeps moving that way and all of that. And you could see the liquidity sweep right here. You see this liquidity here, and then this was actually a good one. And if you watch, you see that when price, this is a zone. Let me highlight it for us so we see clearly. This is a zone for us. So you could see real quick how treating this. I remember for this one, for this one, I'm still going to show us a couple of others. For this one, the other block has been mitigated anyways, because if you watch, price came into it at first and took off from here. So it has been mitigated. So in this particular other block, price came in again, and you could see it is still dishing out, good uh it's dishing out, you know, good trend from it. All right, now, so this is what I wanted to, this another one, although I've mapped out this region, waiting for price to, do all it wants to do in this point, do all it wants to do. Yeah, it could do something like this, come down, go up, bring it down top, come down, clear that liquidity, clear this other one, then pull down up to this point where you have this other block right here, this other block right here, and then the remove continues. So it goes here, definitely correct the fair value gap that is there, and then keeps, pushing higher and higher. So that's what I'm expecting price to do right here. As you can see, price should do this right here. So although I'm expectant anyways, but then this is actually a zone, a valid zone that I'm actually waiting for, because you can see like a couple of liquidities right there in that particular zone. So I'm waiting for price to get back to it, and then it's going to be a big push for me right there. So if this video has been able to, help you, you've gotten one or two knowledge from this video, do it to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever it is we drop a new video. So remember, you want to be part of our, community. The links are right in the description, or you're also looking for a funded account for you to be able to start your entire trading career. There's a I believe I left a link right in the description of the platform you could use. I've used it a couple of times and it's okay. And then you're going to be getting 10% discount on your first deposit. So pretty pretty much that is how it is. Now let's before I say before I call it a day on this video, we could see another order block here. You can see how beautiful it looks like. They are just dishing out. So you see why I have to map out this zone, waiting for price to definitely get there, and then it's going to dish out that trend for me. And it's going to be a good one. Now, another thing I also want to say is that this whole um, mapping out of regions, zones, other blocks, you could see these are not other blocks that are done within a within one day. Why I need to sound this right is because you might think this would be your trade for the day. No, it's not within the daily how do I put it, period, as in time, talking about the Asian, London, and the New York session. That's not what we're talking about. These like you see this other block, it's occurring from a previous day. You could see a couple of others that have also done. It's like an occurrence from previous day. So I'll be waiting for it. Sometimes it takes a week for that other block to you know get mitigated. Sometimes it will take up to 2 weeks. Sometimes it will take, so you have to just be patient with the market. The major thing is map out your zone. Once it gets to your zone, then the rest becomes a stepping stone for you. Are we together now? So pretty much this is how it looks like, and this is where I'm going to be drawing the cutting. You can see if I keep scrolling down, you'll see different zones that I've mapped out. Some of these ones for like 2 3 days back and so on, waiting for price. So sometimes price will get there in the next 2 weeks, sometimes in the next one week, but once it gets there, you are sure of the trade for that day. So I believe this has really helped you. I'm going to be seeing you in the next video. This very video that is displayed here, watch this video. It's actually going to help you. I'll see you in this video.